Welcome, everybody. I'm Judy, and this is my very first stream. Now, I have streamed on YouTube before with my friends, but I've never done it solo. So, this is incredibly nerve-wracking for me. So, I hope that I do good today. I hope. But yeah, I'll be streaming Sekiro, because it's the game I'm totally hooked on at the moment. I've already completed the game like 4 times, so I'm incredibly addicted to it. It's super fun. Is it mad difficult? Yes. But I love the challenge that it gives, and I am aiming to platinum this game, so I hope that I can do that soon. So yeah, let's get started. Let's see, new game, let's go. Hey Alex, how are you? Thank you for coming to my stream. That's good to hear. I'm tired myself, so I hope that the stream goes okay, because I can be pretty sloppy sometimes when I'm tired, but we'll see how it goes. I love this opening so much. William is some other part of Japan, fucking fighting all sorts of different demons and shit. It would have been so funny to see him in this game, though. He wouldn't have fit in at all. I'm like, this is... Neo is such a different experience from Sekiro. Hey, hun. I'm good. A little nervous, but I'm good. How are you?
Ashinaの国は斜陽にあり、狼の忍びは全てを失っていた。 育ての義父も守るべき主も。
I'm not that good at this game, so don't expect any fascinating gameplay from me. Okay, I only do my best, so I hope you're not that disappointed.
忍びよ、目覚めてください。あなたの主のため。
Thank you, that means so much to me. It's like, sometimes when they're on this game, it makes you wonder, do I really want to protect Lord Kuro so much? Because honestly, the shit you go through makes us feel like, is it even worth it? So yeah, this is the beginning of the game. Or I like to say the tutorial version in every game. Ornamental letter. A letter thrown into a well. Kuro's wolf. Your destiny awaits you at the Moonview Tower. Escape from the well and find the tower bathed in moonlight. Even without a blade, you can reach it. Stay silent. Stay vigilant. So you start off with no weapon until you get to this tower where you meet your master. So it kind of gives me Bloodborne feels in that essence, where it's like, oh, I start with no weapon, but somehow I have to make it to like the first lantern of the game. But it's pretty easy to get to that tower. Stealth. Advance without being seen by crouching in bushes or moving under floors. You do not have a sword at the moment. Use stealth to avoid enemies and head to the Moonview Tower. If you're about to be seen, warning markers appear above enemy heads. It's a good thing I won't be seen.
特に稼などしておりませんが、構わぬんでしょうか。大事ない。刀もなく、気力すらない。奴はもう、ただのふぬけよ。君あぐらが、今宵の月に照らされておる。優子様はまた、日当たりでそうお読みかな。そうかな。 まだほんの子供という囚われとは決めどころのことじゃ。ああ、純一郎様も何かお考えがあるのだろうな。
Oh, I swear the first time I did that ledge shit, I had the most nerves. I thought I was always gonna fall. I'm not particularly all that good with heights, so it still makes my hands sweat a little bit. And the cool thing is that in this tutorial version they tell you literally what to do in every single way, so it's not like you're completely lost like in probably other Souls games where it kind of feels a lot more obscure. In this one it really feels like they actually give you like ways to go about the game, which is nice. Feels like they ease you a little bit in that regard, at least. You're not a chump, hun. You can do it. If I can play this game and beat it, I think anybody can, okay? I'm not the best Souls gamer at all, but I'm persistent, which helps. And this is your master. To me, the dub sounds a little mediocre, simply because I started playing this game in Japanese. I mean, in some voices it sounds okay, but I personally prefer the Japanese language instead of the English. That's just my personal taste, but I feel like in any case you get, the same feeling, so, pick your poison. Either way, the game is good. Kusabi Maru, a katana given by Kuro the Divine Heir. An heirloom of the Hirata family, a cadet branch descended from Ashina. Once thought lost, it has found its way back into the hands of the wolf. The name Kusabi Maru beseeches. A shinobi's role is to kill, but even a shinobi must not forget mercy. A mantra the blade itself may manifest. So this is the only weapon in the game. It's not like, in other Souls games where you get a variety of weapons and stuff. You only stick with Kusabi Maru through the whole game as your main weapon. The prosthetic tools count as weapons, if you want to use them, but mainly this is going to be your weapon through the whole game. Imagine if we had the Yamato in this game. Shit. I could easily teleport myself to the end of the game, fight Ishin and be like, oh, game over. But I'd probably die, considering you have shit posture and everything. Healing Gourd. A gourd filled with vitality restoring medicine. Resting refills the gourd. Made by an apprentice of the extraordinary Dr. Dogen. Though it is strange that the gourd's medicinal waters refill automatically, the seeds within may hold a secret to how it works. So the healing gourd is pretty much like Estus, and Blood Vows in Bloodborne. So, and you only start with one in the beginning of the game, so I think that's what makes it difficult, because you only start with one. The Japanese Estus flask, exactly.
堀沿いに進んだ橋の下に城外への抜け穴がある。一心様よりそう聞いたことがある。まずはその橋下の抜け穴を見つけてきてほしい。見つけたらそうだな。足の壁で合図をくれるか。ほら昔聞かせてくれたであろう。その音を頼りにそなたの元へ行こう。狼よ。そなたからも何かあるのか。これにこそ。それはあの時に。そうか。気づいていたんだ。持っていてただきたいのです。だが、このお守りは今まで苦難を抑え、そなたが守っていた。それを超える苦難など追ってほしくはない。だからできればこのまま持っていてくれないか。わかりました。今しばらく。そうしてくれ。そなたが持っていてくれるならば。
Okay. You can cycle through various quick items and use each according to the situation. For instance, if you have taken damage, you can recover vitality with the healing gourd. So use the directional keys to cycle through your items. The cool thing about this game, compared to the Souls game, you can actually pause, which is nice, I didn't really have too much of an issue at first, not pausing in the other games, but it definitely helps, so that's always a good improvement. So pellets kind of remind me of the Dark Souls 2 mechanic, where you had those other type of recovery items as well. I don't even remember what they're called. Honestly, it's been a while since I played that game. So you have your healing gourds, which is a typical healing, and then you have pellets, which you collect a lot throughout the game, right? So I knew you were gonna like the pause, Alex, because I know you had trouble with that in Bloodborne. But yeah, this is the one cool thing about it. It's like Neo, except you don't have to, add an additional button to actually use the pause. So yeah, and then you have your homeward idol, which is used to go back to, every sculpture's idol that you see in the game. So that's always nice. And the cool thing, it's unlimited. That's also very helpful. Well, in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they don't have the pause button, so the only places you feel safe are either in Firelink Shrine or Hunter's Dream, literally. You can't just like, oh, I'm gonna stand here and pretend nothing's gonna hit me. So that's the one cool thing about this game. At least it gives you that small mercy, right? See, posture and death blows. A shinobi aims to break an opponent's posture. Attacking an enemy is one way to achieve this. When an enemy's posture breaks, he is vulnerable to a shinobi death blow. So it's pretty much the same mechanics. You know, you press R1 to attack, and then R1 right after when the red dot appears to perform the death blow. So in that regard, it's the same as Souls games. If you're used to them, it's not even a big deal. Exactly, right? That's the bad thing about other Souls games. It's like, oh, there was always an emergency and then you couldn't pause and you had to literally just quit the whole game. Or maybe you're in the middle of a boss fight, right? You're like, how the fuck do I quit? So that's always nice. You can even pause in between boss fights. Deflection. Sometimes relentless attack is not enough to break an enemy's posture. Deflecting enemy attacks is another way to damage their posture. A master shinobi uses a combination of deflect and attacks to achieve swift victory. So you press L1 the moment an attack lands. So posture is key in this game. That's the main thing that you want to focus on learning in this game to really get good, you know? Because it really helps a lot. So you have your own posture bar and so do the enemies. So you have to literally press the L1 as soon as an attack hits you. It's the same thing as parrying. You know, Dark Souls 1, right as the enemy attacks you, you hit L1 to, like, you know, use your shield, or in Bloodborne, use your gun. It's the same thing. So in this game, you have to be very, very precise. Because just blocking won't fill the, you know, the posture bar for enemies. You have to block them exactly as they come so that the posture meter builds up and then you can perform a death blow. That's the main key to beating bosses in this game, in my opinion. But it is really tricky. I can't even tell you how many times I died the first time. Lock on. By locking onto your target and keeping your enemy in front of you, you'll find it much easier to attack, deflect, and perform other combat actions. Exactly, right? Every Souls game, you just have to get good, whether you like it or not. So you see, like, as soon as the enemy attacks, hit L1, easy. Well, in this case, it's easy because it's barely the tutorial, right? We haven't even got into anything real yet. See? You miss once and you die. So that's why this game is tricky. I never played Metal Gear Rising, but if you say it is, then I can assume that it is, you know? But yeah, that's why I wanted to show y'all that, you know, you miss once and you can literally just die, you know? So, you have to be very precise in this game, which is what makes it tough. But I'm saying, the more deaths you take, the more you learn, but it is very frustrating dying a lot, you know? Nobody wants to die a lot. You were gonna catch me slipping twice, B. Alright, so here we kind of come to the big first tutorial boss. Counter Slash. A counter slash can be performed immediately after deflecting an attack. This allows you to deal posture damage without giving the enemy time to recover. So the moment an attack lands, you deflect, and after deflecting, counter slash. You see the posture meter that's above, right next to the boss, you know, life bar. That's what you really want to get all the way up to the yellow. So, death blow. Some powerful opponents require multiple death blows to be killed. The number of death blows required to kill an enemy is shown by the red circular markers above their vitality bars. Each death blow removes one marker. So death blows pretty much are like health bars, right? If they have 2 death blows, they have 2 health bars. Ooh, I don't know how I survived that, but I did. Okay. Oh, that's so scary. But yeah, he's really what teaches you how to really know how to fight in this game, right? I can't even tell you how many times I died to that guy the first time. Okay, I overstepped it. Little lizards. I'm not fighting you. I don't need to fight you. Oh no. Blood fountains. This gives me Bloodborne vibes when you say that. I miss Bloodborne. I feel like I want to go back to playing it, but I'm like so hooked on this game, so it's a struggle. But yeah, for anybody that knows, Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of all time. Yes. So here we're gonna encounter one of the toughest bosses, I'd say, in this game. I mean, he is pretty tough, but he's cool when you get the hang of him. So this first boss is Ganishiro. Now he's pretty famous for being a complete bitch, because in reality I don't think you're really supposed to defeat him this early on, because obviously you are so underleveled. You can, right, but it is pretty difficult. I didn't last 2 seconds against him in my first playthrough, so I appreciate FromSoft. I mean, they have good games, so yeah, I like them. I'm not a fanatic, but I appreciate FromSoftware games. Well, obviously a little shit wasn't gonna fight. I'm the one with the sword. Oh, I'm gonna fucking die. Let's hope this goes good. Let's go. Oh, ow. Oh, there it is. See? Told you. You're not particularly supposed to defeat him. You can, but it's so hard to do so without Mikiri counters. But that's okay. I'll beat you later. Oh, Ganishiro. I like his character. I really do. But yeah, he is very irksome in the beginning of the game. But don't worry, I'll give you that L later on. Oh, poor Sekiro. Come on, get up, sunshine. So here's where your prosthetic arm comes into play. Let's give him a big hand. He does have big hands though. It's like as big as his face. Oh, best NPC in this whole game, to me personally. Shinobi prosthetic. The artificial arm of a shinobi passed down by the sculpture. A replica of a human arm fitted with a variety of mechanisms, apparently designed with modification in mind. While it bears a number of cuts and is stained thick with blood and oil, it has been impeccably maintained. Now I can be Nero, except I don't have devil breakers, I have prosthetic tools. But devil breakers would definitely get the job done better. So he's a very important NPC because he's the guy that you come to whenever you get a new prosthetic tool. He can fit it into you, and here you can upgrade it. So he is very vital, and his story is really, really tragic, honestly. It's really sad the first time I read about it. I want to know how the hell he dragged me here though with one arm. My man has to be mad strong. Pretty much, except, you know, he's missing a whole arm and Gurman's just missing, like, his leg. Except, if I'm being completely honest, I'd rather face Gurman. Well, you do fight the sculpture. Spoiler, right? You do fight him, but not in a human form. You know, so it would have been a lot easier fighting him in a human form, right? But, oh no, they had to revamp him and make him one of the hardest bosses in this game. Okay, so this place, this temple, is pretty much like Hunter's Dream or Firelink Shrine in other Souls games. Like the main safe place in the game. So Sculpture's Idol serves as a checkpoint and can be found throughout Ashina. Resting at a Sculpture's Idol will completely replenish vitality and restore one use of resurrection. Additionally, quick items and spirit emblems in storage will be added to your current inventory. With some exceptions, resting will also revive defeated enemies. So yeah. So you will come back to this temple a lot to, like I said, do upgrades and stuff. So here's where you rest. So in this menu, you see that there's prayer beads and there's memories. Now, prayer beads is what increases your vitality. So there's 40 prayer beads in this game that you can acquire from mini bosses. You don't have to fight a lot of the mini bosses. Some of them are very optional, but if you want to increase your vitality to the max, I would personally recommend going through all of them. That's what I did, but it is pretty tough. Some mini bosses in this game are a lot more difficult than main bosses. Right? And memories are what you get when you defeat main bosses, so they increase your attack power, so those are very important. More pellets, that's always necessary. Well, optional bosses are amazing. I mean, I feel like you should do every boss in this game, but some are a lot easier to tackle, more like during certain times when you're a little more leveled up and stuff, right? Oh yeah, the weapons in Dark Souls are so great, you know, so for sure. Oh, Nameless King is, if anything, top 5 most memorable and greatest optional bosses, right? I mean, really, if you go through Dark Souls 3 and not find Nameless, you've missed out on a really great experience. Okay. So this guy, he's immortal, so he can't die. So he pretty much is like your training dummy in this game. Feel kind of bad for him, you know. No, it wasn't. You know I'm complete trash. Don't hype me up like that. How about you, Sin Ninja? It kind of is similar, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it is when you don't have Wi-Fi and shit. But yeah, every time you learn something new, then you can come to him and practice. Now, I will say, you can practice all you want, but it's a whole different experience if you know, master it with him and with other enemies, because I feel like it's really different. I never really trained much with him, except like Nikiti counters, because that I really wanted to get down. But like I said, it's a whole different experience when you actually fight some of the bosses in this game. You're like, it's not the same thing. But he's definitely good target practice. Okay, so now we officially start this game. Grappling hook. The Shinobi's prosthetic grappling hook allows access to normally unreachable places and a chance to take the high ground. Nearby grapple points are designated with a circular symbol. When the symbol turns green, the grapple point is within reach. So you press L2 for this. This is really helpful because the grappling hook kind of allows you to mainly skip a lot of areas in the game. Well, mostly enemies, so it doesn't feel like you're forced to fight every enemy you encounter, right? But obviously, if you want to increase skill points and shit, then I would recommend fighting a lot of enemies and trying to get a lot of sen to buy stuff. Kite ninjas. Oh god. Ashina Castle with the fucking kite ninjas, man. Yeah, so the Mortal Blade is a weapon that you get after you defeat a certain boss. And it is very essential in getting it because there's a lot of undead things in this game that require you to need to use the Mortal Blade. So we're still a long way off from that, but yeah, it is a pretty cool weapon indeed. Stealth death blows, my favorite. You can perform stealth death blows on opponents unaware of your presence. The plunging death blow is one of these, performed when leaping at an unaware enemy from high ground. So you can also use this on bosses too, on certain mini bosses, which is really helpful, especially when they have like 2 death blow counts, which the majority of them do. Enemies drop loot such as items and money. Multiple enemies can be looted at once and from some distance away. Items found in the world are different than loot in that they must be approached to be picked up. So you hold square to be able to suck in money, which is, it's fucking funny, to be honest with you. I'm like, you're literally fighting enemies and all of a sudden you're sucking money and items from them. Weird flex, but okay. You really thought, honestly. What's up? You ain't shit, honestly. Okay. I'm only good at parrying certain enemies, not all of them, so. These are pretty easy to parry. You know? So, don't hype me up just yet. Ow. Rude. Honestly. Dogs are still the worst fucking thing in this game. Luckily, there's not too many of them. But I still hate dogs. They're literally one of the worst enemies in any Souls game. I don't care what anyone says. I hate them so much. Little shits. Okay. They literally are. The cool thing about dogs in this game is that once you get the shuriken, they're like, you can easily one-shot them with the shuriken. So it's really, speaking of the shuriken, this is the first prosthetic tool you get. A mechanical device made by the mechanical genius Dogen can be fit into the shinobi prosthetic to become a working prosthetic tool. While it is palm-sized, a surprising number of shuriken can fit into the shuriken wheel, as the edges were designed for stacking. A fine example of what can be achieved when one matches mechanical finesse with a shinobi's talent. Unfortunately, you can't pet dogs in any game, unless it's like, what, Breath of the Wild or like Twilight Princess. Shinobi tools can be used on their own. By giving them to the sculpture, they can be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic. You can quickly return to the sculpture via travel from a sculpture's idol or by using the homeward idol. So we're gonna do that. Oh, roosters are like even more annoying than the crows in Bloodborne. And I never thought I'd see the day where a rooster can give me more of a hard time than a fucking crow. But yeah, those... I was actually shocked the first time I saw a fucking rooster. I was like, what? You have diabolical roosters now? Okay, we went from crows to roosters. That's cool. What's up, girl? My accent hella trash, so. My accent is not nice. I need y'all to stop lying to me. Oh yeah, Lady Emma's so beautiful. Like, I just love her outfit too. It's so plain, but it just makes her just look so beautiful at the same time.
ひょうたんの種に湧き出します。新たな種に加えれば薬水の傘が増すでしょう。
Gara found his way into this game and left his gourd here. Now we're just using it for fun. Except there's no fucking beast in it, which is a shame. Would have made this game a lot easier. Oh, thank you. I'm glad y'all think I have a nice voice, even though I personally don't think I do. So Emma is the one, like she said, she created the healing gourd. So if you bring her gourd seeds, the amount of healing gourds that you get increases. It's like, you know, the Estus shards, you know, and the Estus flask mechanic, same thing in this game. So there's 10 gourd seeds, if I recall correctly, that you can get from this game. And so the maximum is 10 healing gourds. So you have to find them around the world and stuff. Regular shinobi tools found in the world can be specially adapted to the shinobi prosthetic via the Fit Prosthetic Tools menu. So this is the first one you get, the loaded shuriken. And yeah, you get them as you go, right? Sometimes some tools are harder to get than others, but I feel like they all have their own necessities. I personally don't use all of them, but yeah, I think they're all great in their own way. Prosthetic tools are shinobi tools adapted for use with the shinobi prosthetic. They can be equipped in the equipment menu, and using them consumes spirit emblems. Prosthetic tool equipment slots have been unlocked. There are 3 slots available to equip and switch out prosthetic tools as needed. So you switch through them pressing the triangle. So we fit that one. So spirit emblems are that little icon next to where you see the tool. So spirit emblems are required to activate prosthetic tools and are consumed each time these abilities are used. Spirit emblems can be obtained from defeated enemies in the world and purchased from sculptures' idols. If you pass near them, they will find their way to you. So this is probably like one of the only things that's really worth farming for, is spirit emblems. So you can purchase them from here. It's like the only thing you can purchase from here. I'm just gonna get 8. Okay, where were we? Here we go. Yeah, so there are 4 endings in this game. So the only ending, there's the purification ending, the return ending, the mortal severance ending, and the Shura ending. Now the easiest to obtain is the Shura ending, simply because that ends the game kind of halfway through. Depending if you decide on a certain decision other than the one that people normally tend to go for. So in my opinion, that's the easiest one because it's the shortest, but the last 2 bosses of that ending can be kind of tough since they are so different. The other 3, my first ending was the mortal severance ending, which is probably the one that a lot of people tend to achieve on their first playthrough, because the return ending does require you to do certain steps, which can get confusing at first. But yeah, all endings, they're not difficult to obtain in my opinion. I already got all 4 endings in this game, so I don't particularly think they're difficult. Because obviously you have to go through the game quite a few times, like what, just 4 times, but it's not that bad. Yeah, the true ending is I think that one is either the purification or the ending, or the return ending is one of those. So yeah, the main thing that you need for those 3 is the dragon tears, which you do get when you go to the last area of the game per se, before doing the main end game boss. And then each one of them, for the Mortal Servants, you only need the Dragon Tears. For Purification, you need Dragon Tears and I think the Ever Blossom. And for the Return Ending, you need the Dragon Tears and Frozen Tears. So those are the 3 differences. You don't need anything for the Shura ending. So here's the first mini boss in the game. So he's the one that I think, yeah, gives you your first prayer bead, if I recall correctly. Perilous attacks. Oh, those are the worst. Oh, bitch. So every time you see that sign, you always want to avoid that move. So it's either you jump over it, which is honestly it's kind of difficult in your first playthrough because you panic so much, right? I know I definitely got, you know, killed by that so many times because I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, those moves you cannot deflect like other moves. Oh. Well, oh, and that drops a Gourd Seed too. Okay, so he gives you your first Gourd Seed. So now you can have 2 healing gourds, which is nice. Oh. Well, if you have to go back to work, thank you for tuning in anyway. That's really, really, you know, nice of you. So thank you so much. Oh yeah, in Bloodborne it's like, oh, you only need like what, the 3 umbilical cords, which kind of can be obscure, right? Because you don't know when to get like a certain one. Like you can go to Yoseska's clinic early, and if you kill her, she won't drop the umbilical cord, right? So you'll be left with probably like 1 or 2. So you wouldn't be able to get the actual true ending or the alternate ending. So in this game it's kind of obscure too because they don't tell you exactly what to do either. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you just discover on your own or just look online, right, for people who've already done it. That's what I had to do for like 2 of the ending because I didn't even know. Why you always have to spam me with memes? Why can't you just say hello like a normal person, you little shit? But fine, we'll have our meme war later. The enhanced physical attributes option has been unlocked in the sculpture's idle menu. Here you can spend 4 prayer beads to create a prayer necklace, which will permanently increase your maximum vitality and posture. Okay, so now we have 1 prayer bead, so we need 3 more. Nice. Yeah, the one thing I appreciate about this game also, the loading screens aren't that long, which is nice. I felt like in the other games they were like a lot longer, but in this one it feels like a little bit shorter, which is nice. I always tend to forget you in here. Well, too fucking bad. Honestly. Come on. You saw your friend get murdered, you're gonna die next. fuck out of here. Is there anything up here? No. I skipped so many enemies on my first playthrough here. Bitch, you really think I'm gonna fight you? Alright. Ow. Rude! I'm not gonna stay down. Fuck that shit. Come on. You really just punched me like you know me. Really though. Yeah, he's fat and ugly. No wonder he's trying to swing at me. Don't be hating because I'm pretty. Get out of here. Yeah, see, this is where I'm like, no. See, the thing you don't want to do in this game is obviously get overwhelmed by enemies, because that's just a sure way of just asking for your doom. So there's literally no point in you trying to like be a hero and try to fight 3-4 enemies at once. That's the most nonsensical thing you can do in the beginning of any game, especially a Souls game. So I choose my battles wisely. Get out of here. The fried rice. Hey, I'm just saying, man. Fried rice is fucking lit, so I don't even blame him, because that'd probably be me in this kind of game. I'd probably be like that fast samurai back then. I had no fear because I already expected it, right? But I mean, I still get a little scared, don't get me wrong. My hands start sweating and shit. I would really be like that fat samurai that'd probably just stand as a guard, and everybody else is like out there in the battlefield running and shit, because obviously I wouldn't be able to do it. So this is where you get an important shinobi tool also, which is the firecrackers. Now you need 500 sen for that, so it is kind of expensive considering that you don't get that much money in the beginning. So, but I would recommend getting this before attempting to do like the first main boss, which is Gyobu, simply because he's on a horse, and these work really well on beasts. You don't need it per se, but it does make the fight a lot easier, especially when it's like your first playthrough, right? So I think I might farm for it because it's useful. And obviously you do want to collect all the tools in this game, just because why not, right? What's up? Now, see, I'm not fighting you and your homies at the same time. You're just not gonna catch me slipping that way. Fuck out of here. Honestly. Y'all really think y'all gonna catch me in a corner? I refuse. Come on. Come on. Bitch, no. Y'all just can't fight me one-on-one, you fucking pussies. Come on. Ow. Rude. I'll use my pellets for this. Come on. Now, there is a very important skill in this game that you can acquire later on, which is you get vitality back after every death blow. I think it's definitely one of the most important skills in this game, but you don't particularly get that till afterwards. Hurry up already, attack me. Thank you, fucking slow ass. That blocking was gonna help you. I'm not fighting you, fat ass. I refuse. Old Town Road. Imagine if that song starts playing as soon as the boss fight starts. That'd be great. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. So there's an important NPC that you should talk to while you're here, because it will unlock a part of the game which is pretty missable to a lot of people in their first playthrough. I ain't your son.
そなたはわしがおかしくなったと言えばさすがにせられる
Sweetheart, you Aussie now. But I'll let you flex.
まあよいせられよ若様のことは作った守り鈴じゃこの守り鈴を仏様にお供えしておくれ
A bell charm received from an old woman who asks that it be offered to Buddha. Bell charms protect their holders through Buddha's divine protection. If one finds themselves the owner of another's bell charm, offering it to Buddha on their behalf is common courtesy. The sculpture at the dilapidated temple had advised on how it should be offered. I never know how to say that fucking word, dog. But yeah, this bell charm is important because it accesses Hirata's state, which is a place that it is missable, because if you don't talk to her, if you don't explore, right, you'll miss this and you won't be able to access that area without this bell. So this is a very important item to get if you want to access that part. This is your son. I feel so bad for you. I already talked to her. She already confused me for you. Oh, I'll avenge him, alright, as soon as I get to Hirata State. You couldn't take it away from her and ease her mind? What kind of son are you? See, that's why you ended up like this. You didn't take that damn bell away from your mother. And she became all crazy and shit. Oh shit, I forgot about that sharpshooter. So, I wouldn't advise going through here because there's a really sharpshooter that never fucking misses their shots. Literally. Never misses their shots. They're like the worst sharpshooters in the whole game. Okay, and they're a horrible enemy in a later part of the game. So I would not recommend going through there because you will immediately get one shot. Like dead ass get one shot. And it's not worth it. So I would recommend going around because that bitch is annoying. That, honestly. I hate her so much. Steph Curry. Hey, I don't know much about basketball, but yeah, let's just go with that. It's like if there was feudal basketball, right? Then you call that hoe. Like, she's the very definition of shoot your shot, because that bitch never misses. So here we're going to encounter one of the most annoying mini bosses in this game, which I think is very famous, which is a chained ogre. But first we're going to talk to this merchant here. What's up, dude? Wouldn't we all want to shoot our shot at Lady Emma? Oh god, yeah, the fucking giant at the top of the tower. Jesus, that bitch never fucking misses. The worst part, he's so confusing to get to the first time. And then you talk to him, he's like, oh, I help anytime. Like, shit, you should have helped me from the get-go. What the fuck I do to you? Honestly.
話して差し上げましょう。どうです？
The first
悪
one?
い話じゃねえでしょ。
Which first one are you talking about per se?
ああ、もちろんです。あのよ、平田はご存知の通り、足が運慶。真剣な野党なんざ普通は帰り討ちです。けど、先だっての戦の折、若い侍はほとんど出払ってたんです。
Yeah.
そこを狙ってお尻を
That's nice though, because when you go back to that area, then he shoots everything and it's so much easier to farm there. Oh yeah, I've talked to him, for sure. Yeah, he's a very easeable, missable merchant though, so. But yeah, I already knew where he was. But for most, this would be the first merchant, because he's, in my opinion, a lot easier to get to.
あの世もちょうどそんな顔してやつだ。今も何かをお探しで？ねえ、旦那。お題さえ
Yeah, I know he has the firecrackers. I've played this game already.
お教えできるかもしれません。ぜひ情報を買ってください。
Why not?
お買い上げありがとうございます。なんだって旦那は忍びです。忍びの道具の情報を教えて差し上げましょう。あっし、すげえ勢いで火が出る筒を見かけたことがあります。平田屋敷の押し入りの時、あっしの仲間がボーボー手の調子で
He was so
すげえ
eccentric.
勢いで火を吹いてやりました。
A tattered note written by Anayama seems to be from some years ago. Lucrative info number 36. When we broke into Hirata's estate, we found a barrel that spewed flame. The boys lit a roaring bonfire with it and made merry with the drink. Must have been a shinobi's tool. So y'all telling me y'all used a shinobi's tool to make a fucking bonfire? God damn, no wonder you'll never succeed in life. Alright. Yeah, I did complete this game. I did get all 4 endings as well, so yeah. On what part are you on, per se? Oh, Guardian Ape, yeah. So yeah, you're almost, yeah, you are halfway. He's definitely one of the main bosses. He is a very interesting fight. Hey, all's fair in love and war, man. Even if it means using a chained fucking ogre, I guess. Come on. Okay. Let's do this. Just know I'm complete fucking trash at this fight, alright? So if I die, don't make fun of me too much. Grab attacks. Grab attacks cannot be deflected. There is no way to avoid taking serious damage once grabbed. Enemy grab attacks can be evaded with a well-timed step dodge. Even the strongest attacks are useless if they don't make contact. Fuck that, I just run away from it. Shit. No. I don't trust myself enough to do shit like that because, like I said, I'm fucking trash. Hell no. I'm scared of this bitch. Oh my god. Honestly, fuck out of here. So he is pretty difficult because, like they said, grab attacks cannot be deflected and you're so used to deflecting at this point. So you will get grabbed if you're not careful. Oh, hell no. That was too close. Come on. You are not a soccer player. Stop kicking. Come on. They will definitely help you in this fight. You're good at running away like me. Cause being close to him is fucking terrifying. Like, I don't trust myself being close to him because I know I'm fucking trash. Fuck out of here. I did all the side quests in this game for sure. Yeah, I have like, in my first playthrough I did like I have a whole 95 hours already in it, so. Yeah, I've explored everything in this game, so. I definitely took my time with it on my first playthrough, because I didn't want to miss anything vital, you know? Plus, I like exploring. What's the point of having an open world game if you're not going to explore? A lot of people just like to boss rush everything. I don't particularly like doing that. No! Oh, shit. You see why I don't like being close to him? Jesus. Yeah, I know how to use my gourds. Fuck out of here. I'm scared of you, B. Oh my god. God. No. I refuse. He literally just pulled like a wrestling move on me. Come on. Do your shit. I refuse. Don't grab me again, honestly, please. Yeah, his grab attacks are definitely the most deadly move he has, but technically anything he hits you with is deadly because he hits like a fucking truck, right? And you have a shitty ass health bar. So any little thing can take like more than halfway of your health. Don't touch me, please. I'm just trying to live. Technically, it is open world because you can explore and stuff. That's why I consider it open world. You know, it's definitely not like, you know, most typical JRPGs in the sense of, yeah, open world. You can literally explore every part of the game, but you can explore a lot. So it is open world-ish, you know. He breathes on you and you die. Why? Because his breath smells bad, or just because it hits that hard? Now, see, there's a spear guy up there. But I'm not going to attack him because I don't have Mikiti counters just yet. So, I absolutely refuse to fight him right now. There's no way in fuck I'm fighting him. Oh yeah, I mean, there's points in the game where they don't let you pass. Like I said, it's not the typical open world-ish that you would expect in most JRPGs. But it is still open world in the sense that you do get the luxury to explore a bit and find hidden items and stuff. That's what I meant, you know. Oh yeah, so yeah, Chained Ogre is definitely going to be that first main headache, you know, because like I said, he hits extremely hard. You know, his hitbox is fucking ridiculous. You know, so yeah, expect to die a lot to him in your first playthrough. I think everybody did, you know, unless you're just really that good, or unless you really just learn how to fight really well. I panic a lot. That's my flaw. So I died to him quite a few times. But yeah, there's certain fights in this game that do get easier, you know. But in the beginning, it's really just trying to learn as much as you can. So everything's trial and error. There we go. There's something. Yeah, see, 11 times. I think I probably died the same amount of times, honestly. Because he's scary. He's really scary. Like, I just heard his, like, scream for the first time, and I was like, fuck that. yeah, Genishiro definitely is one of the hardest bosses for sure. You know, I think in any playthrough, even if you get pretty good at the game, Genishiro will always be like stressful because you have to really be perfect in all your parries for sure, and he can make it kind of difficult for you. But once you get the parries down, Mikiri counters, and all that, it becomes so much easier. Oh yeah, actually the third phase, I mean, just the lightning reversal, if you don't read that scroll before going to his boss fight and you don't know what lightning reversals are, yeah, you're gonna get fucked up by that every single damn time. Which is why it's very essential to learn that, because it comes so in handy, especially during the last boss too. Now in this part, there's a really difficult enemy down there. You see him? He's called Headless. Now he's, in my opinion, the most difficult mini boss to me. I'm not fighting you, fuck out of here. He is incredibly difficult to fight, and I recommend fighting him more end game, because that's when you like, you know, you have a lot of stuff that are very necessary to fight him, because he gives you the terror status effect, which is, in my opinion, one of the worst status effects of all time. I thought Frenzy was bad from Bloodborne, but that shit, terror is ridiculous, and he's definitely not a boss you fight this early in the game. You know, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend fighting him. The first time I tried doing that, yeah, immediately KO'd every single time, you know. So you definitely need 2 specific items to fight him. And now I'm poisoned. So you need, let's see, you need the pacifying agent, which is, it reduces the amount of terror buildup that you can get. And you need divine confetti, which is the only way that you can actually fight him. You can't fight him regularly because he's an undead enemy. So the only way you can actually inflict damage is with divine confetti. It's like a buff. It's like, I think, the only buff you can get in this game. So yeah, Headless is not easy. Even with, you know, all your vitality and posture upgrades, he's still a pretty annoying boss. I saved him for endgame on my first playthrough because I was like, there's no way in fuck. Oh yeah, you can get the purple gore too, but a lot of people just use the pacifying agent simply because a lot of people don't even know about the purple gourd. Because a lot of people don't really, like I said, a lot of people don't really explore that much. So they tend to miss out on what merchants sell and everything. I have the gourd and pacifying agent, so it's like double the healing, right? So like, you know, they have like the fire resistance gourd, the poison resistance gourd, you know, but like I said, a lot of people don't explore too much because they want to just rush through everything, which is, in my opinion, pretty nonsensical, but a lot of people do that. Yeah, so Guardian Ape is yeah, he's the one that's like a big monkey, and then he has a second phase where he carries his head because he becomes undying. It's like such a troll fight too, because it's like you think, oh yeah, he's dead, right? Then all of a sudden you see him like regrow, like get up and hold his head. You're like, what the fuck, right? So you're like, what the hell is this? It's a fun fight though when you get the mechanics down. I'm not great at that fight. I really am not, but I tried my best. Bitch. I don't know if there are 4 gourds. I only have 3. I only have like the red, green, and purple one. I'm not sure there's another gourd. If there is, then I missed it, or I didn't know about it. So here's another mini boss that you can do, but quite frankly, I'm pretty scared to do him right now because I'd rather prefer to have Mikiri counters, and I don't have that yet. Doulahan. What is a Doulahan per se? Because I don't think I know what that means. We're gonna get to one of my favorite parts though. But I'll wait till he just minds his business and goes about his life. Unless he really wants to die. Another thing I'll say about Sekiro, stealth is absolute kind of trash in this game. Because you see how he has like the awareness symbol on him, right? Even if you're hiding like this and if you move, then he can still see you. Which is ridiculous, right? Even with the skill upgrades that reduce how much sound and things that you get, he can still see you. So while stealth sometimes does come in handy, it's not good at hiding from enemies that have already seen you. So that's the only bad thing. I did use the demon bell once to upgrade some things that I needed or to farm some items, but to say that I've used it to make the game harder for myself, no. I did that on my second playthrough because I wanted to see what it actually did. But then again, I was stronger by then, so I felt pretty comfortable. Ah, okay. Headless Horseman from Irish folklore. I can't say I'm all that knowledgeable in Irish folklore, but that actually sounds pretty badass, honestly. Okay. So here is probably one of my favorite parts in this game. Ah, okay. That is a good example. I love this snake. It was definitely one of the things that I wanted to encounter in this game before I even got it. He is so fucking frightening though. Now you kind of have to sneak your way around him because if not, you're going to fucking die, right? Shit, I was about to have a stroke the first time I encountered it. Woof. Just know he's a very aggressive snake. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. Oh my god. I should not have done that. I did it way too early. Oh god. That was scary. I'm sorry, Snake. I didn't mean to. He makes me so nervous. So I probably am gonna die simply because I suck at this fucking jump. Oh, I actually got it. Oh shit. Jesus Christ. That will forever make me nervous. Even though I've done it like 3 times already. But I just never can get the timing right because I panic. Okay, so we're almost near our first boss, which is fun. So there's also these things in this game called sugars, which are like buffs, right? So this is your inventory. So there's Gatching sugar is kind of like yeah, I beat this game 4 times actually. So this one, it suppresses your sound, so it makes you invisible, right? So it's kind of like the blue elixirs in Bloodborne that hide your presence. And there's also other sugars, but we haven't gotten any of those yet. So I'll explain those when we get there. Yeah, I'm pretty addicted to this game. It's literally all I've been playing since it came out. I haven't even like gone back to other games and stuff. A page torn from the Ashina herb catalog, a compendium of flowers and herbs. The snap seed naturally grows in ravines and deep valleys. According to denizens of the Sunken Valley, some places are appropriate for offering oneself in marriage to the Great Serpent. If one wishes to become a bride, they must enter the belly of the serpent in the valley. See, the first time I read that, I was like, ain't no way in fuck I'm marrying that great snake. First of all, I stabbed his eye, so already started off on the wrong foot, right? So there's no way we'd have a healthy relationship. So that's a no-go, you know. I did fight Great Owl at Hirata State in New Game. I did that in New Game Plus 2, actually. Because I got the purification ending on New Game Plus 2. You know, I haven't really heard that much about Ghost of Tsushima in quite a while, so I didn't even know people were even talking about that game, considering that it's been pretty quiet since they at first premiered it like last year. But if the voice acting is like this, I don't know, I wouldn't mind it, you know, because I tend to like playing these kinds of like samurai games with Japanese audio anyway, so it just sounds more authentic, you know. That's just me though, it's just my preference. Imagine a great serpent going to marriage counseling. Probably wouldn't even fit in the damn room. Oh, Neo 2. Neo 2 is gonna end my life. I mean, Neo gave me issues. Neo 2, who knows? But considering the experience, I think it'll be fine. Code Vein, I feel like Code Vein just disappeared and it's never coming back, which makes me sad because I really wanted to play that game so much. It just looked so great, but I hope that, you know, they actually are working on it because I really want to play that. No, we're not listening to the Vital Force. Let's see, for Owl at Hirata State, what I would personally recommend is try to Mikiti counter all that you can, all the moves that you can, because it definitely takes a lot of his posture meter. If you have the descending carp and ascending carp skills unlocked, that definitely helps because it does increase posture damage to your enemies. So I would definitely recommend that if you don't have those yet. And also, I would just recommend trying to just learn all his movesets, even if you die a lot, because that's what I did. You know, he is obviously a lot more difficult than the first Owl encounter. So yeah, definitely deflect all his moves. When you see the red signal, jump over him and try to land on him to increase your posture damage. So that definitely helps. Avoid when he launches the firecrackers in the air and he swings. Always try to side dodge around it because you'll never get hit by it. I've tested it out and you don't get hit by it. On his second phase, what I would personally recommend, every time, it's all the same moveset except the AoE, which is the Owl. I'm not fighting. Hell no, I don't have Mikiri counters yet. I refuse. So for the second phase of Owl at Hirata State, jump over the AoE, which is the flying owl, and then Mikiri counter because he always does a thrust attack. It's not that it was scraped per se, it's just that they just kind of were like, oh yeah, they tested it out at, what was it, like E3, and a lot of people said the demo was just like really glitchy and just full of bugs and stuff, so they kind of just took it out of the face of the map and we're like, alright, fine, we'll do something about it. And I haven't heard about it since, so I'm a little disappointed because I was really looking forward to that game last year, but I hope that they're working on it. Yeah, I'd definitely go more for posture than vitality on Kindled one, for sure, because it'll be a very slow fight if you just go for vitality, you know? So because it does feel way too long, and then you still have to worry about second phase, and you probably will take a lot more hits if you just try to focus on getting an opening every time. So I was like, just try to parry his attacks as much as possible, recover your own posture by blocking. That's the best way to lower your own posture meter, and just try to keep up with his rhythm, you know. No problem. I hope my advice helps, you know. So I hope that you beat him, because he is a bitch. So good luck to you. Yeah, when you meet Owl, that's because you meet Owl twice in the game if you go for the purification ending. But the Owl at Hirata State is a lot different than the one that you fight in Ashina Castle. Like, I feel like he's a lot more difficult. He has a lot more movesets. So yeah, he can be quite irritating. Yeah, Neo was definitely brutal. You know, I feel like the first time I played Neo, oh my god, I got my ass handed to me so many times. But got through it, you know, so if we can get through that, I think we can definitely get through Neo too. That tickles Percy, honestly. What's up, boy? Oh, no, you're not gonna trap me in a corner like that. You can actually kiss my ass. Y'all just a bunch of cheating boys. You really out here disrespecting me, though. Fuck out of here. In my opinion, firecrackers is the most effective and efficient prosthetic tool. You know, because it not only works against beasts, it also works really well to stun, you know, even humanoid bosses. So yeah, definitely recommend upgrading the firecrackers as much as possible, because it comes in handy in a lot of boss fights. You know what is disrespectful? Gaining up on me when there's 4-1. That's what's disrespectful. They can't fight me one-on-one because they know I'd beat their heads off. So, fuck that. All's fair in love and war. And right now, this is war. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You know what? Master Kuro can wait. I'm out here just trying to farm for shit to make my life easier to save his little ass. So he needs to just hold off and drink his milk or some shit. So right now I'm just farming for the firecrackers, honestly, because I feel like it's definitely be necessary. So forgive me if I'm taking my sweet time doing this. I did try the umbrella. While I'm not great at using it, but it definitely does come in handy in a lot of occasions. I think especially helpful when you get to gun fort, because everybody just shoots at you, right? So it's definitely good to block a lot of gunshots coming from different directions. Put your boy down. I also used the axe a lot with the enemies that had shields. Oh, bitch. Keep hitting me. See what happens to your face. Honestly. How much money do I have? Oh, I don't need that. I need a little more. Yes, very helpful with gunshots, because gun fort is a clusterfuck of a level, so especially helps with the mini boss in that area too, for sure. Yeah, so you like this is why I say that exploring is very helpful in this game, because you find a lot of money just stranded around in items, which is why I would recommend just kind of taking your time and exploring every nook and cranny, even though it is kind of difficult in the beginning because you know you don't want to die a lot, because obviously you don't want to inflict the world with dragon rot, which we have not gotten yet because I haven't died that much. Oh, I forgot you were dead. You're just shaking though. Alright. But yeah, definitely collect as many coin purses as possible because they'll come in handy for the upgrades and all that shit. Okay, now I can buy the firecrackers. I just really want to know why roosters. They could have just brought crows back, you know. But I guess roosters are the new things. The red lumps definitely don't help as much because it's one of those items that you have to be really good at using. You know, because it does give you the attack boost and all that stuff, but yeah, you sacrifice the resurrection. So for sure, it's not one of those things that a casual gamer would use, right? Don't hit me. But yeah. The contact medicine, I feel like it helps in certain situations, but definitely not as much as other items for sure. I think the most effective items, in my opinion, were the sugars. Obviously, the pacifying agent is super necessary. Divine confettis is very necessary, and other things like antidotes for sure. That's always helpful. No. Because of course, typical Souls style, there always has to be a poison area in every game. So that's a good thing. Okay, now I can. Let's just go to the temple and get my shit. But no, not every item is helpful in the game, but so it's nice to explore, at least in your first playthrough, right? Just to see, you know, get to know the game more and stuff. At least if you have the patience for it, right? I have the patience. I love exploring. So this is how your skills are unlocked. So, a book of secrets that details a variety of techniques employed by shinobi. Grants the ability to learn shinobi-style skills. Within this text are the innermost secrets of the shinobi arts, such as attacks performed in the air and hiding one's body to avoid detection. Such moves can never be practiced by samurai. So I think this is where you can actually learn bikini counters, which I need to learn. Owning an austeric text of a combat style will allow its skills to be acquired in the sculpture's idle skill menu. Each enemy defeated provides skill experience. Skill points are acquired once enough experience is gained, which can be spent to unlock skills. Some skills can also be learned by obtaining items or defeating enemies. So that's also very important. That's one thing the two things you can farm in this game, which is skill points and sen. Those are the only farming things that are necessary. That little box besides the trainer, it does fill up with a memo like later on in the game. So, but I think it's definitely more end game than anything else because in the beginning there's literally nothing in that box. But yeah, later on you will get items there. I just don't know specifically at what time though. That's the only thing.
してからせいぜい任務を探していたが乗りかかったためで仕込むことだけはしてやる。
So here, if you pray to this statue, if you already have the bell charm you get from that old woman, this will lead you to Hirata State. Now, I'm not going to go there just yet, because I'm going to go defeat the first main boss of Ashina. So I don't think you need to finish the game to get it. Like I said, I think it's just definitely more end game than anything else. So, but I would check every once in a while near end game. You'll know when it's end game for sure. At least once you get to a place called Fountainhead Palace, I think that's maybe around when you get that certain item I'm talking about. But I could be wrong, you know, so I could be wrong. See, new skills can be acquired by spending skill points in the skill menus. Yeah, so there's 3 types of skills. There's combat arts, shinobi martial arts, and Latin skills. Combat arts must be equipped to be used, but shinobi martial arts and Latin skills are always in effect upon being acquired. So yeah, this is a skill tree. So we're gonna learn Mikiti counters first, which is the most helpful. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like in Bloodborne where it was a lot more linear. You know, you go from like Central Yharnam and then you go to, you know, like Old Yharnam and stuff like that and all that stuff. So in this game, you can either go really early to Hirata State if you wish to, or you could stick to the main route in Ashina outskirts and go all the way to the main first boss of the game. I first did Hirata State on my first playthrough. And it's not that it's particularly hard, but yeah, it definitely feels a little more difficult than the enemies in Ashina outskirts for sure. And there's a lot of parts where you feel like, oh yeah, I can tackle this boss before this one. So it feels, like I said, that's why it feels open worldish to me, because it feels like you have the luxury to go from one place to the other and stuff, you know? Depending on what you're most comfortable with. And spirit emblems do have limits, so I think the highest number you can acquire is 20 if you unlock those skills, you know? So, but at first you start off with 15. That's the limit you have now. And it's not particularly hard to farm them, but obviously in your first playthrough, since you do die a lot and you probably do use your tool a lot, you will run out of them pretty quickly. So it definitely feel like a pain to farm and stuff, right? But yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's doable, right? But like I said, so far we haven't encountered the dragon rot thing, which is main in this game, because I haven't died like all that much as I probably should have been. But we will encounter it eventually, because there's certain bosses that I'm complete trash at. No, there's no limits in storage to how much you can obtain, I think. Because I've acquired up to like 700 spirit emblems in storage, and it feels like it just keeps going. So I really don't think there's a limit. See, sometimes eavesdropping does give you pretty vital information, like he said right there. A little bit of fire powder startled his horse, right? So this is where the firecrackers come in handy, because in the next boss that we're going to tackle right now, he's riding on a horse. So it kind of gives you a clue if you read into it. It's like, oh, okay, firecrackers, right? So, yeah. Dragon rot is unpleasant because while it doesn't affect you personally, it affects the people around you. So people get inflicted with dragon rot, and it inflicts on the unseen aid that you get. Now the unseen aid is that little square right there next to my vitality bar. If a lot of people in the world get dragon rot, that unseen aid decreases. And the unseen aid sometimes helps you in not lose skill points or lose money when you die. You know, because when you die, you lose like a lot of skill points, and half of your money is gone every time you die. So when you have the most unseen aid, it helps prevent that from happening sometimes, right? So you always want to you know, have that unseen aid to its 30%. I don't know if it can increase. I've played this game quite a lot and it hasn't increased, so I don't think you can. But yeah, you always want to keep it up. But you can heal Dragon Rot. That's the good thing. It's not one of those symptoms where it's like, oh, everybody fucking dies and nobody comes back, right? No, you can heal it. Yeah, pretty much. So here's our first main boss of the game. Now, the key to this boss is trying to avoid his attacks at all costs. His attacks are pretty slow compared to most other enemies. But obviously you don't want to get cocky, because if you get cocky, you are going to fucking die, because he hits really hard. And like I said, your vitality bar is shit in the beginning of the game. But like I said, with every enemy, what you're going to want to do is just try to increase their posture meter. That's the easiest way to defeat enemies in this game. Ooh, that was close. That was so close. Ow, that hurt, bro. So you're always going to want to grapple onto him when you see the green signal on him. You want to at least try to, right? So, because if not, then you're going to fucking die easily. Ow, I keep getting hit by that. Jesus Christ. And there we go. This is why I say the firecrackers are very, very effective. You can see how they stunned this horse. So when you stun his horse, definitely gives you an open window to be able to get a few hits in, you know. Yeah, wasn't the cleanest fight. I got it done. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe, lingering in the mind of the wolf. Commune with a sculpture's idol and confront memories of battle to permanently increase attack power. Gyobu Masataka Oniwa was keeper of the Ashina Castle Gate. A mechanical metal barrel that can be given to the sculpture to enable prosthetic tool upgrades. It appears to have been made to fit perfectly inside the wrist bone of the shinobi prosthetic. A reinforced core is sure to make a shinobi's fangs even sharper. So this is very essential to unlocking the prosthetic tool upgrades. So this is why I would personally recommend doing this boss first. That way you can be open to upgrading your tools, you know. So yeah, that's always very helpful. But yeah, that's the first main boss done, and we got our first memory. So with that memory, what we do is go to the sculpture's idol and increase our attack power. The enhanced attack power option has been unlocked in the sculpture's idol. You can now consume battle memories to increase your attack power, causing you to deal more vitality and positive damage with your attacks. Yes, I was born and raised in New York. I live in California now, but yeah, I'm a New Yorker by heart. See? Gyobu Oniwa once led a group of infamous bandits, but was defeated by Ishin, who was so captivated by his show of strength that he took him as an Ashina warrior. Oniwa would later go on to become Genishiro Ashina's most trusted retainer. Yeah, the O's are a dead giveaway, huh? So yeah, so our attack power is now 2 instead of 1. So that's how you increase it. So yeah, that's our first boss. Hey, progress. So now I feel like we're gonna backstep because I might go to Hirata State right now before I take a break. So where am I going? Okay. I'm gonna go back to the Underbridge Valley because there's an important item that is necessary for the boss fight in Hirata State, which is snap seeds. And you can't buy snap seeds from early on in the game, so you have to get them from the open world. So what you want to do is backtrack and go to where you encountered the snake the first time. Now he won't be here after you stabbed his eye out, so that's a good thing. You can run through here in peace, and you can get the snap seeds that are in this area. Oh, really? How did I fall from that? You see why I say I'm trash at this game. I haven't thought about it yet for this particular playthrough, but I think I might go for the purification ending simply because that one shows all the bosses that you can do on your first playthrough. So I think I might go for that one first. Oh god, the journalists that have written about this game, man. Seriously. See, few word seeds that make a loud noise if you snap them. Useful for breaking the effect of illusion techniques. If an illusion occurs, it is because someone created it. To crush the phantoms and return to reality, one must defeat the creator of the illusion. Snap seeds can be of great help in that regard. So this item is very necessary in the boss that is in Hirata State, which is Lady Butterfly. Because in her second phase, she does have illusion techniques. That's what she specializes in. I didn't know about this in my first playthrough, which is why, if this is your first time seeing them play in this game, then this is a good place to get 5 snap seeds, which is very helpful for that fight. So this is why I recommend doing Gyobu first instead of her. Oh yeah, Mortal Severance is the first one I got as well. But yeah, Purification is very interesting simply because, you know, you revisit Hirata State a second time and it's completely different than the first time. So yeah, I'm definitely going for that one to show the 2 extra bosses that you fight. Because I love Owl, but Hirata State Owl is a bitch to fight the first time. I had heard that Ninja Gaiden Black did get an easy mode, and the fact that people still played it even like that is crazy. I mean, I know it's a difficult game. I mean, I get frustrated easily at hard games as well. Who doesn't, right? But they are beatable. You know, it's just that it takes a lot longer than a typical game that you would start on a normal difficulty would, right? But it's not impossible. It just requires you to be a lot more persistent and more patient, which a lot of people don't tend to have those skills. I don't know how often I'll be streaming, considering this is the very first stream I've done by myself. So I don't have a schedule yet, but I'll try to see how many times I can, because my schedule can be really off. So, how late are you? You're almost 2 hours late. Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. Like, it's good that you still joined anyway. Okay. What can I upgrade anything? Okay, so this is a prosthetic tool tree. Can't really upgrade anything because you haven't really gotten materials. So you do need certain materials. And the cool thing that it tells you what you need, right? And the cool thing is that those materials drop a lot, so you don't have to. They're not really rare items, which is really nice because you can acquire a lot of them. The only ones that are really rare is a fulminated mercury, which you don't get until you get to like this specific branch, I think, which is really advanced. And the lapis lazuli or some shit. It's like the most rare upgrade material to finalize it. Well, you don't really get that till like almost end game, so it's no point in worrying about that now. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Hirata State now. I mean, you know, you just gotta get good, literally. It's not even that it's a meme, right? It's just, you just literally, From Software pushes you to be good. That's the only way you'll beat these games. Honestly, even if an easy mode was made for Sekiro, people will find some shit to complain about, right? So, it's not that, that's not even the issue. It's that a lot of people don't tend to push themselves and realize, for some reason they thought this game was going to be like any other normal game, that it's like, oh yeah, I could choose a difficulty option. Yeah, I didn't realize this was a From Soft game. Like, this company is known for making difficult games. The difference between Sekiro and Dark Souls is just, you know, Dark Souls is a whole different story compared to Sekiro. It has a lot of different battle mechanics. The only thing that's similar between them is the difficult, you know, thing about it, and the learning curve for sure. But it is beatable. I've beaten 3-4 From Soft games, and I'm not good at those games. I think the only one I can say I'm pretty decent at is Bloodborne, simply because I played through that a lot. But I'm no expert at these games. I can't do no hit runs or challenge runs for these games. I play them because I like to push myself, and they're very interesting. I think they have really interesting lore. And, you know, I definitely love the battle mechanics, even though it's very unorthodox at first, because, you know, oh my god, how did I miss that? Okay, let's try that again. But, you know, it's fun to learn it. I like learning new things. I like to give myself the opportunity to learn new things. You know, a lot of people say they like to learn new things, but it becomes difficult for them. Exactly, right? I mean, Sekiro really, you know, really makes you be like, no, you have to parry. Like, you really have to parry. Right? Because that's really the key to beating this game. It's not like in Dark Souls or Bloodborne where it's like, oh yeah, I have a shield, or, you know, I have my gun, or I can rely on building skill points or strength and stuff. Like, in here it's like, no, you need to perfect parry. Mikiri counter is definitely a lifesaver, and just try to perfect that. It's very difficult. I mean, I'm still not perfect at it, but I've managed to get better every single playthrough. As long as I grow, right, then that's what makes the game easier for me. My modesty is not cute. I'm just being real, man, you know? So I play what I like, and I'm not here to show off or anything. I just play what I like, and that's it. Oh, my mans. Okay. So this is what happens 3 years ago, before, you know, he just loses all faith in humanity. What part of the East Coast am I from? I was born in Queens, but I was raised in the Bronx. And then I moved to California when I was on my 13th birthday. So I've been living here ever since. I never parried in Dark Souls either. I could never learn how to parry in Dark Souls. You know, I tried my best, but I never got it down, so. I'm only good at parrying in Bloodborne, and that's it. That's the only game I can say, yeah, I'm a fucking beast at parrying, you know? But apart from that, I don't know shit. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, so. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. You see why I say the shuriken is probably one of the coolest weapons. See? One-shot dogs. Easy peasy. Why can't we have that in other games? That would make my life so much easier. I didn't get that far in Dark Souls 2 to really know what dual wielding was, but I wasn't that bad at that game, but you know, it just didn't click with me. Like, I made it pretty far, but I never finished it. And maybe someday I'll go back and actually finish Dark Souls 2, but then again, who knows? They really are, though. The dogs in this game, like, if you have the shuriken, they feel like they are no threat, because they literally are not a threat. You know, you can easily just, like I said, one-shot them. And it's like, okay, you don't even have to be scared of them. So, this is why I say that they're not difficult. It's only, like, another kind of dog that requires maybe, like, 2 shuriken hits, but it's very easy. Fuck you calling your homies for? Fight your own battles, pussy. Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was really irritating because, I mean, we all knew this was going to be a From Software game, right? So I'm not particularly on this. I don't fathom where people got the idea that this was going to be any less difficult or something. Like, they told us for many months, yeah, Sekiro is going to be mad different from Dark Souls, and Bloodborne is going to be a whole different learning curve, but nobody ever said, oh yeah, it's going to be easier. There's a difference between something being different and being easier, and in no way did they ever say it was going to be easier. So the fact that people thought that they were just going to finesse the fuck out of this game without consequence, honestly got their head up so far up their asses. I'm sorry. Or they literally have never played a Souls game in their life. Well, a lot of people haven't. This is probably their first Souls game. If I had never played a Souls game before this, I probably would have given it up too, because like I said, I'm not good at difficult games. I challenge myself, but that's about it. Yeah, that's the other cool thing about Sekiro, that there's no stamina bar. So you don't have to worry about, oh yeah, I'm gonna run out of stamina if I run, or and stuff like that, or if I swing a lot. Which is nice. It's so nice not to have a stamina bar, because you can feel like you can go all out, right? Which is so good. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is just... it's the worst in terms of, like, trying to really captivate your attention. Simply because it feels like, in essence, right, there's difficulty, but it felt like they kind of overdid it with a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of boss fights that I felt like were very unnecessary, and, you know, a lot of areas, it just, I don't know, it felt off to me, you know? Oh god, yeah. I mean, it's so irritating when people always try to go for that excuse, right? Oh yeah, like, y'all should make it easier for us. Think of the handicapped people. Nah, y'all just using handicapped people to make life easier for yourself. Because I've seen a lot of gamers, like, that can no-hit these kinds of games with, like, missing a fucking hand or an arm. And I'm like, if they can do it one-handed, why the fuck can't you do it two-handed? You just lazy as shit. That's your problem. You know, how did you not see that, dog? So, it's really irritating when they try to, you know, just use handicapped people for that. Because I understand, it's one thing being handicapped, it doesn't mean you're mentally retarded. You know, that's a whole different story. What's up, fool? Yeah, I definitely recommend Sekiro if you know, want to challenge yourself and just want a good story and stuff. It's a good game. Like I said, the learning curve is pretty difficult at first. You will die a lot, but when you get the hang of it, it's very, very rewarding. I think like any other game, right? Once you get the mechanics down, then, you know, you're good. See, there you go. I mean, honestly, yeah, I've seen people that can, like, easily 2 PC fighting games and they're like handicapped as shit. And I'm like, I'm over here with all my body parts and shit, right? And I'm like, if they can get good, why can't I? There's no excuse, you know. But a lot of people, like I said, would try to use that as an excuse, and it's a shame, because I don't think you should really shame people like that. It's very demeaning, and it's very offensive, you know, because it's like, don't make these people seem like, oh yeah, you know, they're like so challenged that they don't give themselves a shot. They're like every other day people too. Okay, I should have Mikiti countered that, but for some reason I'm distracted. Fuck out of here. Exactly, right? So I'm saying, you're going to have a harder time grasping this game than most others, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just requires you to have a lot more time and patience than you would a normal game, right? Thank you for stopping by, even if it's just for a little bit. I appreciate it so much, and I hope you also have a good weekend, and thank you for wishing me luck. Yeah, anybody can play these games, you know. It's just people think these games are exclusive, which they're not. The only thing that makes them different is just that there's no difficulty option, right? So you know you're gonna get fucked right from the get-go. You know, that's the only thing. Apart from that, you just learn like everything else. Even in an easy game, you have to learn how the mechanics work, right? You're not just good when you start any new game. Like in anything in life, you just have to learn how it works. But like I said, a lot of people will use a lot of different dumb excuses for their own failures. So I'm just like, y'all are just offensive. Oh yeah, the soundtrack in this game is, you know, very, very good. You know, so that's the one thing I appreciate, that it's like, it's very different from the other games, but at the same time it's very unique in its own way, which is nice. So homeboy, get out of here with your lantern, please. Come on. Ow, fuck you hit me for? Out of here. Yeah, exactly. The adaptive controller is pretty good. But yeah, I feel like definitely asking for easy mode is a coward's way out. And it's just kind of also disrespectful to the developers and stuff. I mean, I can't imagine how much work they try to put into this game to make it like great and stuff, and try to make it, you know, meet such high expectations, considering that it comes after Dark Souls 3, which is a very successful game in itself. You know, so you really just throw oil at me, dog? Are you dead ass? Well, you have a whole big weapon and you really just throwing jaws at me. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Fuck. What the hell are you overcompensating for? Fucking pussy, dog. Come on. The fuck you keep throwing jaws for? There is no point in you having that big ass weapon then. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I mean, ever since Sekiro came out, it's made so much noise, and I fucking love it, you know, because I feel like it definitely deserves the attention that it's getting, you know, because apart from it just being a great game, it's just like, come on, y'all should know from Soft, don't do easy. Y'all dumb as fuck. Yeah, it's dumb. I feel like, you know, every single FromSoft has followed the same formula. It's difficult, and you just have to get good. So again, I'm not sure where people got this idea that Sekiro was going to be any different, because it's, I said, yeah, it's sure different in plot and, you know, theme and aesthetics and all that, but it's the same formula. It's difficult. You really just have to get good, you know? But I don't know. I think from all the trailers that people saw, and they were like, oh shit, that looks cool. I'm gonna be swinging around like Spider-Man and nonsense and parrying everything. Again, you throwing jaws too? Why you throwing jaws though? Honestly, fuck y'all have swords for if you're gonna be over here being a pansy and throwing jaws at me. The fuck is this? Even this rooster has more balls than y'all, even though he's gonna die. Yeah, Miyazaki said for months, yeah, this is going to be a bitch. You know, for months he said that this was, everything y'all know about Dark Souls is not going to help y'all in Sekiro. He said that for months and months and months. And for some reason people didn't listen. That's on them. Nobody told y'all to go out and waste $60 in a game that you were going to give in within 3 hours. You know. So the oil is used like, you know, the oil in Bloodborne, right? It's like, yeah, they throw oil in you and expect you to just fucking burn or some shit. And I'm like, okay. You know, it's just helpful against some enemies too. Like if you burn them in oil and use the flame vent prosthetic tool, and it causes the burn status is actually a really good status effect to inflict upon enemies. Oh, at least you're using your weapon. I can respect you for that. Okay, so here's where we get the axe prosthetic tool from, I think. There we go. Heavy black iron axe used by shinobi can be fitted to a shinobi. Yeah. This board axe is used less for cutting and more for breaking things with its weight. Once the favorite weapon of a shinobi known as the bounding monkey of the sunken valley, it was lost along with its left arm. Yeah, so this pretty much indicates that this was the sculpture's, right? Because he lost his left arm. And with the lore, you'll understand why I say that it belongs to him more. So, but yeah, Hirata State is not the most difficult place to run, but it does have a really annoying mini boss, which a lot of people die to, including myself, because he is a fucking bitch. He's coming up in a little bit too, so I'm pretty nervous because I'm fucking trash at fighting him. Okay. It's like, right, when you hear like people knocking on your door and then you're like, you actually are home, but then you're pretending you're not home. I do that all the time. Every time I hear people knocking, I'm like, I'm not answering. I don't want to be social today. Oh, thank you. I'm very glad that it's enjoyable. Even though I feel like I've been talking a lot, but I'm glad that it's been enjoyable. That was my goal, and I'm glad I achieved it. God damn, you don't have to be disrespectful. Nah, you gotta meet me outside for that. He really just accused me. Alright, you lucky I can't get inside your house and knock you. I will bop some sense into your head. Fuck out of here. I'm over here risking my life and shit. Don't worry, old man, I'll beat him. There's always some weird Jehovah's Witness at your door trying to be like, oh, have you heard about our Lord and Savior? Yes, I've heard about our Lord and Savior. I just don't want to hear it from you. Alright? If I wanted to hear from the Lord, I'd go to church or open my Bible.
若様をお救いください。この世をあなたに捧げます。
Oh, see, you're nice. What? See, you should teach your neighbor some manners. He out here accusing me, and I'm over here trying to be the very best that I can be. The fuck? No faith, bro. No faith. Oh, what's up? Is the merchant? What's up, dude? I just realized my man's has no pants on. He really just out here in fucking loincloth. You're not cold? Thank you. I'm glad that I'm giving good gameplay, because I feel like I've been pretty slow with the gameplay, so I'm glad that it's been good. I swear he reminds me of Patches, but at least he's not like an evil son of a bitch like Patches, you know. That's another good thing about Sekiro. There's no patches in this game. Feudal Japan, man. It's like no pants unless you're a fucking samurai or a decent human being. But apparently my man thinks it's okay to run half naked across in the middle of a fucking battlefield. Shit, like, you ain't scared to lose your life. Alright. Got your whole dick hanging out and shit. Nasty. Okay, I'm going to go heal because this next mini boss is gonna stress me the fuck out. Because I am not good at fighting him. But I'll try my best. Wooden shields and hats can't be broken. But yeah, that's why the axe is handy. So, breaking shields and shit. That's another good prosthetic tool to use, is the axe when it comes to shield enemies, which we'll see in a couple of minutes. Just need to get my shit in gear. Ooh, meat swinging. Fucking merchant out here with a loincloth, not caring that people just see him strutting around half naked, the bastard. I swear I thought Kudo was a girl at first, and then I realized it was a little boy, and I was like, oh, makes sense. It really does look like a girl. I really miss watching Lord of the Rings. I haven't watched it in so long. I don't remember the last time I even watched Lord of the Rings. Such a great trilogy, though. A book of secret that details a variety of techniques for use with shinobi prosthetic. Grants the ability to learn prosthetic style skills. Written by a man who abandoned the path of the shinobi, but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. He never expected to pass these on to anyone else. Kick ass with prosthetic tools. Got it. My man got some long ass limbs. Like, if this were modern times, he really should just apply for the damn NBA. But then again, one arm. Yeah, who knows? It really is one of the greatest fantasy adaptations ever made. It's so good. I definitely have to watch Lord of the Rings one of these days. surprised people are like, people really want like an intermission for a 3-hour movie. That's not even that long, you know? Like, it really isn't. But, and people will be like, oh, I'm full asleep. No, that's on you then. It's like when you're really like into a movie, you really don't feel the time go by, you know? Best shot blocker of all times. Shit, he'd never let any ball go through the net with that big ass hand of his. He'd be like fucking Murasaki Bara from fucking Kuroko's Basketball and just block everything. Thor's hammer and shit everywhere. Oh my god. I haven't watched that anime in so long too. There's so many things that I haven't watched in a while. I should take time to do that, but video games just take most of my time. Priorities, man, priorities. Murasaki already cheats just with his height alone. Like, man is like 7 feet tall. Like, there's just literally no point. You feel like you can never get the ball through because it's just like, just blocking everything. I mean, sure, Godzilla definitely has a lot more history, you know, like a lot more rich history than, you know, depending on what kind of fantasy you like going for. But, you know, both in themselves are great in their own way, you know. On God, though, Murasaki Bara is just... he really should just, like, play by himself. He'd probably just cover the whole damn field anyway. But, see, these torch guys inflict the burn status on you, which is probably one of the most annoying, like, status effects. And that, what you saw, was a Mikiri counter. Now, that Mikiri counter is good for thrust attacks, which are really hard to parry, and I wouldn't recommend it, because you have to be perfect with that timing. So it's... I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Come on! So these shield guys can be really difficult because you can't make them take their shields away. Like, and you can try to run around them and try to hit their back, but it becomes a really slow fight. So what you just do, break their shields and just death blow. Easy. I didn't know that the first time I played this game, and that made my life so much more difficult than what it had to be. Like, if I had literally known that, it would have been nice. But I went blind in this house, so I was like, oh. I didn't really learn that until like my second playthrough. And I'm like, oh, okay. Big shield guardian. He definitely overcompensating for something. That big ass shield. Now that guy with the spear, he is probably one of the most annoying mini bosses because he's very difficult. If you haven't learned Mikiri counter by now, it's gonna be near impossible to beat him. You know, I didn't learn Mikiri counter when I first encountered him, so I died too many times. But he becomes a lot more manageable when you learn that move, at least. I'm just gonna get rid of all the enemies around him first because I'm not making this harder for myself than what it already is. I refuse. You see what I mean when this stuff is garbage in this game? Oh no. Hell no, I'm not fighting you and your homeboy at the same time. You got me fucked up. If you think I'm about to do that to myself. Nope. Go back to your shit. If you can, always try to get one death blow off a mini boss. That way you can only deal with like one health bar. I mean, if you want to be a masochist and if you're actually really good at this game, go and beat his 2 death blows. Me, I'm smart. I tend to get rid of one and then just deal with one phase. No fucking way I'm dealing with two phases of that bastard. That. Where is he anyway? See what I mean? You hide, and for some fucking reason, the enemy still knows you're here. It makes no sense. I'm like, for a shinobi, I'm not that stealthy. Okay, now that the field has been cleared, I'm gonna go for his head next. Hopefully, I'll survive. Hopefully. Okay. Let's go, bitch. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Oh my god, I was expecting to die. But yeah, spear guys, they're always gonna do thrust attacks, so this is why I say Mikiri counters will save your life. And the worst part is that you can't actually avoid him. You actually have to fight him to get past this fog wall. As I said, there's some mini bosses that are optional, some aren't, so that's the bad thing, right? So we got 3 prayer beads, we only need 1 more, which we will get right now because I forgot about this one. So we're gonna go back to Ashina Castle Gate because there's one hidden here that I didn't know about. So we're gonna go get it. He thought he was gonna give me the work, but I beat his ass. But yeah, he's a very, very hard enemy. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I died to him. Like, oh, it was awful. But like I said, you learn from your mistakes and you're good. I haven't even opened this door yet. I completely forgot. Okay. So I'm gonna get this, and I think I might take a small break because man, it's already been like almost 2.5 hours. That's insane. I didn't think I was gonna stream that long. Time does fly by when you're gaming. I don't think I'm that good of a streamer, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. But thank you. So this dragon's blood droplet, this is what you actually use to get rid of dragon rot, plus a recovery charm that you get from Emma. But like I said, I haven't actually activated the dragon rot because I haven't died a lot. So if we do die, we'll eventually get to that. Or if I have to die on purpose to show you how that works, I'll do it. But most likely I'm going to die to something later on, because I always do. I think you can buy a gourd seed from him, if I recall correctly, so I'm gonna have to come back and buy it. So we're gonna go in here and meet one of the most important NPCs of the game. Sup? I just want to know, why is it that in every game I feel so short and everybody's so tall compared to me? That seems really unfair.
その左腕忍び儀式とは懐かしい。なるほど。石腕の狼ならば石油お主をそう呼ぼう。
He really is though, cause I feel like even in Neo, everyone was like so tall compared to me. And I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty tall, but then everybody's like 10 feet taller than me. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like a whole fucking gremlin, bro. That's not fair.
ネズミもいろいろじゃん。それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才が。その才を磨くのに役立とう。老女先生。
I love his voice acting. Except, of course.
よし、関ならばこれをくれて。 切ってまいれ。さすればお主の戦に役立つものをやろう。
So kill rats, got it. I'll show y'all the rats later. That makes sense, actually. And I'm not chasing after a little stupid motherfucker named Sasuke. That just makes this game a whole lot better. This is a very well hidden prayer beat, so it's really easy to miss this one. Hey, now we got 4 prayer beats. So we're gonna go back to the idol and increase our vitality and posture. Yes. This is why defeating the mini bosses is important, and exploring, because there's a lot of prayer beats that are out in the world, and then there's some that are dropped from mini bosses. So it's definitely good to get them, you know, even if it is a little time consuming. Here we go. Loose prayer beads strung together. In offering to a sculpture's idol, increases maximum vitality and posture. A prayer bead necklace befits the strong. The ferocity of Ashina's army is renowned throughout the nation. Its generals are especially talented, every one of them accomplished in the Ashina sword style. So yeah, so now we have 11 vitality and 2 power, so we're doing pretty good. Sasuke's overrated, he ugly, he doesn't have good fashion sense, and he just needs a good ass beating. I've never liked him, I never will. I don't care what anyone says. What other skill can we learn? Sasuke's just a fake Kurapika. He really is though. Like, I don't know why people shit on Kurapika. He's so lit. My man's literally just like went into a fight with a shovel because he knew he was gonna catch a body, and he did just that and buried him. Like, that shit is cold as hell. And people still root for Sasuke. Man, fuck Sasuke. People forget how he got his ass handed to him by fucking Killer Bee. Couldn't even do shit. Or try to flex and shit. Fuck out of here, man. You trash. Let's just... Alright. No. Fuck a Sasuke. I'd rather root for Naruto. Combat arts are special attack skills based on the strength of the fighting style they belong to. They must be equipped in the equipment menu to be used and can be learned through the skill menu or found in special historic tests. On God though, they really did. It's like, he makes Red Eyes look cool. Ooh. Alright, so I'm gonna take a break. I feel like I've been streaming for, yeah, it's been a while now. So, yeah, I think I might stream later. I think. Who knows? But exactly. I mean, yeah, Naruto talked a lot, but he got a lot of work done too. So he wasn't just like, oh yeah, he was just talking shit. Like, he was just speaking, you know, his success into existence, and it paid off. Unlike Sasuke, who was over here being an emo child. I don't even care for what reasons. I know the reasons. He's still annoying though. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break here and come back later, just because I feel like, why not? You know, I feel like I have the time today to do another stream, and I'm gonna do like maybe 3 more bosses. See how that goes. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning into my very first stream, and yeah, just thank you for the support. I hope that you enjoyed what you've seen so far. I hope I'm doing good, and yeah, we'll be back later, so hopefully y'all can tune in. If not, that's all cool too. So thank you so much. Let's see, let's quit this, and I need something to drink too, because my throat is just like shit. My throat's like, bitch, you talk too much. I'll definitely catch your stream, Alex, for sure. So when you stream, I'll hop on too to watch. So yes, and thank you. I'm really glad that I did good. So I'll see y'all later.